From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
You want to go where to buy a new refrigerator? Steve's A to Z Appliance in Cottonwood? In Cottonwood? Just a 10-minute drive. And they'll save us money. New and used, honest, reliable, factory-trained repair service and parts, and they'll save us money. And dispose of this thing? We gotta make the short drive to Steve's A to Z. Thanks, son.
Steve's A to Z Appliance, front and main streets in Cottonwood. Drive a little, save a lot.
Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you have the free Weather NorCal app. If you don't and you don't know about it, well, now you do. And you can go to your app store, search for Weather NorCal, look for this icon right here, download the app for free, and you have everything Weather NorCal has to offer right there at the palm of your hands, including being able to share your photos. You have a photo you're proud of or want to share? Do that through the app. You can also, of course, give us storm damage, any storm photos, if you have any snow in your area. And by the way, be sure to include that pertinent information so I can give you credit. Of course, need your name, at the very least your first name, right? And then if you have snow, maybe your elevation where you are, so I have an idea of the elevation of where that snow is. And on top of that, maybe even if you measure it, so we have an idea how much snow there is. So yeah, go out to check out the App Store and check out the app where you can share those photos. And a lot of times I share a lot of the new photos on my morning show, Coffee with Kruger, starting at 6:30 in the morning. So be sure to look for your photos that you share right there. All right, there we have the wet weather returns today. We're noticing, of course, it came last night. It's coming this morning. And we'll also be looking at those gusty winds moving with the storm system as well. Upwards of 30, 40 miles per hour. So yeah, be prepared for the fact that we could be looking at some storm damage due to those winds. Snow levels between 3,000 and 4,000 feet, at least for today. And even into tomorrow, though, actually lower, closer to 3,000 feet tomorrow, a little bit lower tomorrow. But going into the weekend, they're going to be climbing back up to about 5,000 feet or higher. But really, when we're talking about rain, it's going to be off and on rain starting today. Of course, heavier rainfall today, but off and on rain starting today through at least early next week, if not longer. I'm starting to see it into next Wednesday and even next Thursday. So here's your forecast for today, looking at your planner, at least through 2 o'clock in the afternoon. For the valley, we're seeing, of course, the overcast skies, showers, rain, heavy at times, even in the morning hours. Siskiyou, Modoc County, there are the showers there, and of course we're seeing showers off in the eastern mountains, but it may take a little bit longer for us to see anything heavier for the eastern mountains today. Taking a look at the north coast, yeah, you may even see a few lightning strikes and hear some rumbles of thunder as the storm system passes through, especially as we go into the late morning into the early afternoon hours. Otherwise, just of course the rain, which will be heavy at times and gusty winds. Showers inland, of course, a heavy rainfall at times there and gusty winds. And for Trinity County, of course. It's going to be wet. Everyone is going to be wet today, so just be prepared for that. Here's the storm system coming in. You'll notice we've got that swirl of low pressure, and that's all moving eastward. We've got the atmospheric river right here, so that's the moisture source for this rain. I actually had a comment on Facebook, and it was interesting because I was kind of talking about the atmospheric river. Now, someone says, why don't we just call it rain anymore? And you know, and that's a good question. Because we still call it rain, but when we talk about atmospheric rivers, I'm not saying that that's rain, that's the rain. That's the source of moisture for rain. Keep in mind, in order for there to be rain, we have to have a moisture source. We have to have a moisture source to squeeze out to get that rain. And the atmospheric river is a plentiful or bountiful source of moisture typically, and that's when we typically see the most amount of rainfall, when we have that tap of that subtropical moisture. Otherwise known as the Pineapple Express, right? Or sometimes even the Coconut Connection. So that's kind of the answer to that question there. But look how active it is out over the Pacific. We've got all these clouds coming in. So once this main storm system passes, we've got cold and unstable air on Thursday bringing us more rain. Now I anticipate a break on Friday, and then way back over here, that's the next storm system that will impact us over the weekend, and in particular for your Saturday. All right, so let's walk you through the timing of today. So here we are this morning, and we're already starting to see some of the snow. I anticipate that through the morning hours, we will probably start to see more chain requirements east of I-5. But look at the snow levels. We're at 3,500 to 4,500 feet. So it's all in the form of rain on I-5. But look at Scott Mountain, right? Now you're seeing the snow there, but on Highway 299, all in the form of rain. Now we go into about just shortly after the noon hour. Actually have a line of heavy rainfall. Now, this could be in association with the main cold front passing through, so this could bring us a kind of a round of some heavy rainfall for some of us. And by the way, if you hear a few rumbles of thunder in there, don't be surprised. But snow level is still fairly high, between 3,500 and 4,500 feet. So you see the I-5 corridor, that's all in the form of rain. Look at Highway 299, all in the form of rain. We're beginning to see a little bit of snow out towards Highway 36 west of I-5, but once again, the heaviest snow is off to the east where we have the higher elevations, right? And there you can see as we go into 6 p.m., now we're starting to see more snow fill in here. So this is when snow levels will start to drop as some colder air begins to settle in later this evening. But look at the valley. We're getting shadowed a bit, so probably not as much rain for the valley as we go into the evening, but I still think we could see some showers. But I-5, you see how we're now beginning to see snow on I-5 there. We're also, looks like it's mainly still in the form of rain for Highway 299, but now a lot more snow making its way onto Highway 36, and of course not to mention to the east here as well. Okay, so now let's take you into your Thursday morning. Look what happens. Now the widespread rain and snow is gone. We've got cold and unstable air in place, and that's going to continue to bring us some showers. Now, I think the bulk of the activity on Thursday is basically going to be, say, around northern Tehama County, northward, up into Oregon, and then to the west. So watch what happens as we go through the day. You see how we're seeing most of it to the north and west. We do have kind of some moisture coming in from the west here, but look at the valley. We're just not seeing a lot of activity. Now, as we go into Thursday afternoon, we'll see a push, but once again, we're just not seeing a lot of activity in the valley. We are seeing some showers and some snow being impacted, of course, just from the winds, kind of what we call the orographics of the mountains producing some of that snow that we're seeing there. But, you know, there's I-5. Now, it's going to be mainly in the form of rain, but again, we're kind of seeing a little bit of that rain-snow mix on I-5. So we still could run into maybe a few minor problems there. But on Highway 299, I mean, it all looks clear there as far as snow, right? Now, you have to keep a close eye on things, especially when you're talking Buckhorn Summit. But Highway 299 should be pretty much okay through this, just with the snow. Now, keep in mind, it'll be rainy, it'll be windy, so you still need to take it easy on the roads there. But there you can, of course, see the snow off to the east. Then we go into your Friday, and there it is. Here's that break I was talking about. We're going to see that break on Friday, and then this is Saturday's, probably Friday night. Saturday, when that system begins to kind of move itself on in. All right, take a look at the forecast rain totals. It might be overdoing it for Redding, but I do think on average a half of an inch or more for many of us in the valley, and of course much more than that for the coast. So yeah, some pretty good rainfall coming out of this for just today alone, and that'll include what we see on Thursday for some of those totals you saw there. Now, we look at these winter weather alerts. You've got the purple, you've got the red, the pink in there. The times are all over the place. Some of them are for 2 days, some of them are for just this morning. Bottom line is this. We've got snow in the forecast. It's going to impact your mountain travel, especially above 4,000 or 5,000 feet. Just kind of keep that in mind. So we take a look at the snowfall totals. And yeah, we could see a little bit of accumulation out towards Chester, maybe towards Alturas as well. But I think for places like Quincy, it'll be more of a mix. I think we'll be hard-pressed to see that accumulating snow there. Not to mention out towards Etna, maybe even Mount Shasta City. I think we'll have a hard time seeing that as well. It's going to be borderline where we see kind of that rain-snow mix. So it'd be interesting to see if we see much in the way of snow out towards Mount Shasta City. But obviously, as you go above that, ski park, right? The ski park will be looking at a decent amount of snow because it will be all in the form of snow as we go into the next few days. So we could see over a foot of snow with this just for today alone, and not to mention even going into tomorrow, maybe a little bit more than that. All right, so look at the road conditions for today. Here's today at noon. Here's I-5. It's all in the form of rain. Here's Highway 299, all in the form of rain. 36, looks like we're okay even east, but we're beginning to see some snow, some of those higher elevations. Look at that. There's Bogard Ranger Station. That's all in the form of snow there. And of course, not to mention Lassen Park. That's no big surprise there. All right. And of course, not to mention Cedar Pass right there. Okay, so now let's take it to 5 p.m. Look what's happening. We're beginning to see the snow levels begin to drop a little bit. So we're going to move into that mix on I-5 here on Highway 89. Highway 89 could run into some problems here with snow. But Highway 299, there's Buckhorn Summit. But you take you out to Highway 3 on Scott Mountain, Scott Pass. Yeah, you're seeing some snow up there, but it looks like all in the form of rain on 299. But you see how, like, we go into places like Shingletown, we could maybe see a bit of a mix there, 3,500 feet, right? But then heading eastward, more snow into those higher elevations. Of course, there's Cedar Pass. So as we progress through the afternoon, and in particular going into this evening, be prepared for the fact that we may start to see more chain requirements because snow levels are starting to drop. Look at I-5 right here. There's Mount Shasta City. There's Weed. I mean, you're getting right in there within that borderline of that snow. So I don't anticipate a lot of problems on I-5 going into tonight and Thursday, but be prepared for the fact that there may be chain requirements up there, not to mention on Highway 89. And look at Buckhorn Summit. It's getting close there as well. So we've got to watch some of these areas that are going to be, for the most part, okay today, but by tonight and into tomorrow morning, it may be a bit of a different story. Let's talk about those wind alerts. Yeah, we've got a wind advisory until noon today for Delaware and Humboldt counties, and for the Valley from 10 o'clock this morning until 10 p.m. So let's take a look at the winds. There we are at 9 a.m. We could easily see gusts 30, 40 miles per hour. Now the winds are beginning to pick up even at 9 o'clock this morning for the Valley, but they really pick up later this afternoon. Here's the noon hour. There's 30, even upwards of 40 miles per hour. Winds are pretty gusty across the board over Northern California in general. You see how they're starting to show signs of dying down with stronger winds off to the east. And then we go into Thursday, and yes, they won't be as strong, but I do anticipate to see breezy, borderline windy conditions even for your Thursday and going even into your Friday morning as well, especially along the coast. So the winds are going to continue to be a bit of a factor, but I think the strongest winds will be today. Let's take a look at the long-range forecast, and there's your Saturday rain coming on in, snow levels about 5,000 feet. There's the next storm system approaching, but on Sunday, it looks to be a dry day. But by Monday, this storm system moves in. Now, as we go into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, this area of low pressure will continue to have an impact on our weather in the form of rain off and on. With the flow around that low, we'll just continue to see that. Now you can see more activity coming in from the west, so we could be looking at more wet weather going toward the end of next week as well. So this is quite a wet pattern that's moved in. And you think about last week when we were talking about, hey, you know, we're going to have a dry pattern here, but you can enjoy it guilt-free because, yeah, look at all the rain that's heading our way. This is through next Wednesday. From today through next Wednesday, we could see upwards of 4 inches or more of rain for the Valley. And I think it's underplaying here what we'll see for the coast, but we could be looking at about the same here for the coast as well. Wave heights are increasing today, folks, because, of course, that storm system is moving through, so those wave heights start to increase. And then as we go into your Thursday, we may see them drop a little bit here, but still will be a problem. There is that small craft advisory, not only today, but that'll last through Thursday evening, as a matter of fact. You see it right there. But look at the winds. I mean, they're from the south at 15 to 25 knots, waves from the south at 5 feet at 5 seconds, and from the southwest at 4 feet at about 13 seconds. All right, so here's your neighborhood by neighborhood forecast. So you can see the off and on rain. Snow levels, there you can see 4,000 feet today, 3,500 feet tomorrow, but 5,000 feet starting this weekend going into next week. 55 in Fortuna, 56 for Blue Lake, 53 degrees for Garberville. We take you up north with 53 degrees for Gasquet. There's Smith River, about 55, and Trinidad, a high of 56 degrees. Siskiyou County, we've got those temperatures in the mid-40s, give or take. So as you can see in central and eastern, probably low 40s, but you head off to the west, temperatures mid to upper 40s there. Take you off to Modoc County, 44 for Tule Lake, 45 in Canby, 45 for California Pines, and Alturas, about 46 degrees. And for the eastern mountains, there you can see temperatures in the mid-40s, give or take. There are those snow levels climbing back up to about 5,000 feet on Saturday. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Haas Farms. Those temperatures in the mid-50s. So yes, it is cooling off a bit. Off and on showers. Rain will be heaviest today. Gusty winds. Rain will be heavy again on Saturday as well. And then more off and on showers here as we take you into next week. 48 for Whiskeytown, that is. Bella Vista, about 52, and 53 degrees for Cottonwood. So let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. And, well, of course, for your Valentine's Day, there you have it. You've got, of course, the rain, gusty winds, showers for your Thursday. There's that break on Friday. Then we have more rain on Saturday. Could be heavy at times, maybe some gusty winds. Sunday, looking dry. And then for your President's Day and Tuesday of next week, off and on showers.